Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Jake, and I lead marketing for Jira Software. And I'm joined today by Matt Ryle, who's Jira Software's head of product. Matt, how are you?
I'm great, Jake. Yeah, good to be here. And thanks for coming all the way down to Sydney to hang out with us.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here, and I'm so excited, as I know you are, to take everyone through this deck. I was putting the finishing touches on the plane ride down, and man, we have some really great stuff in here to cover today.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's been a huge year, and we've got a lot coming up in the future. Some exciting stuff to share with our customers today.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm glad we got a chance to sit down and go through it. So I know there's a lot of people on the line, and they probably want to get into it as well. So what do you say we do it?
Let's do it.
Awesome. All right, now before we begin, as always, a bit of quick housekeeping. The first is legal. We're going to be sharing forward-looking roadmap information during this webinar, and it's important to keep in mind that the roadmap may change. Second, Q&A. If you have any questions throughout this webinar, please drop those in the webinar console. We have a team here standing by to answer those questions as they come in. Furthermore, we're going to pick a few questions to answer live at the end of the webinar. So if we're seeing any trends or things that people are particularly excited about, we'll dig into those and answer those live once we're done. And that's it. Let's get going. Now we're here today for a few reasons. And the first is just that we've had a really big year. The last major webinar we ran for Jira Software Cloud was a year ago, right after we released our new next generation project type. During that webinar, we promised 2019 would be a huge year full of innovative product development. Today, we're going to show you how we've made good on that promise and how there's even more to be excited about in the year ahead. And we're so excited about the year ahead that last week we did something that's a first for any cloud product at Atlassian. We published our roadmap. There's a link to the new Jira Software Cloud roadmap on the right side of the webinar console, or you can head to atlassian.com/Jira roadmap at any time. Definitely check out the new roadmap whenever you have a free second. Our public roadmap details most of the new features and functionality we'll be covering in this webinar. A ton of things will be shipping over the next few quarters, and even a sneak peek at some of the stuff coming in 2020. You really don't want to miss it. Now, we've broken today's presentation into 5 sections. These are the same 5 sections you'll find on our public roadmap online. Each of these 5 sections represents a major pillar of our product strategy, and we're excited to walk you through each of them today. First, we'll cover our next generation project type. There is a ton of innovation happening across NextGen, and we're focused on creating an optimized experience grounded in team autonomy and ease of use. NextGen is all about allowing teams to move really fast, and we'll show you how we're empowering teams to do exactly that. Next, we'll jump into core experiences. Core experiences is about our work to make Jira Software Cloud easier to navigate as well as more intuitive. Improvements and updates in this area span NextGen and classic project types and include things like Jira's navigation and issue view. We've got some really exciting updates in this section. Next up is probably my favorite workstream, and that's Premium. Jira Software's new Premium plan is all about helping teams scale as they grow. We just launched Premium, so we'll catch you up on what's available now, as well as what's on the way. And from Premium, we'll hop into Cloud Platform and discuss the great improvements we're making across scale, privacy, and security. The Atlassian Cloud is one of the most secure in the industry, and we're super proud of everything we're accomplishing on this front. And last, but certainly not least, we're excited to take you through some of the new out-of-the-box integrations that make Jira Software Cloud an even more powerful tool for every member of the organization. Our integration strategy is largely about opening up and facilitating communication across the entire organization. So definitely make sure you stick around for that. Now, before we dive into NextGen, a friendly reminder that everything we're going to be covering here today and more is available now on our new public roadmap. So if we discuss anything that you want additional information on, we'd highly encourage you to visit atlassian.com/Jira roadmap. Many of the items on our roadmap also link off to articles written by our PMs on the Atlassian community. This provides even greater detail and a direct forum for you to ask the PM questions you have. So be sure to check it out. And with that, let's get going. The first pillar we're going to talk about today is our next generation project type. And to take you through all the great things happening in NextGen, I'm going to turn it over to Matt. Matt, over to you.
All right, thanks, Jake. Now, for anyone here who isn't familiar with NextGen, it's our newest project type that we launched in October 2018. NextGen was rebuilt from scratch, and it's all about providing teams with greater autonomy and ease of use. Before I get into the NextGen roadmap, I want to spend a few minutes on the trends and ideas that led us to launching this new experience in the first place. We did a lot of customer research, including conducting more than 500 customer interviews, synthesizing over 1 million NPS responses from our in-product survey, and analyzing over 500 million feature flag events. Engaging with so many of our customers also helped us identify key themes in software development that have shaped where we've taken this next-gen experience. If there's one trend that stood out from all the teams we talked to, it's that successful teams want autonomy to learn and continuously refine their way of working. Teams are more and more breaking away from strict adherence to agile frameworks in order to just plain and simply find the best way of working. And when you look at how software development teams measure their success, this makes a lot of sense. Last year, we surveyed over 500 software development teams. And one of the things we're most interested in was how teams measure themselves and set goals. And what we found is that by large margin, software teams set goals around 3 main things. The first one is customer satisfaction, with 93% of teams measuring themselves based on customer satisfaction. The second one was mean time to repair or recover. 86% of teams said that this was one of their top 3 measures of success. And the third one was team velocity, with 85% of teams reporting this as a top measure of what they achieved. So when we put all this together, what we learned was that software teams today want more autonomy to find their best way of working. What's most important to these teams is moving fast and delivering customer value as fast as they can. So how do these findings relate to NextGen? Well, traditionally, we had classic projects in Jira, which is the Jira software experience that most people know and love. Classic projects have been amazing for teams to scale their workflows across multiple teams. This is possible because our classic projects have global administration, which is what this image represents, where organizations can build workflows, custom issue types, and schemes, and share them across multiple teams. But global configuration means sacrifices in terms of speed and autonomy. It means that your teams need to go to a Jira administrator to change their workflow or add a new issue type to their project. And when they do change workflows and issue types, those actions can impact other teams' Jira projects and cause disruption to people across the organization. We've heard from many teams and administrators that this situation is far from ideal. So with NextGen, we took that feedback and optimized instead for team autonomy, speed, and ease of use. We flipped Jira projects upside down and made them entirely independent from each other, so teams can make updates to their workflows fast without impacting anything else in Jira. As we move NextGen forward, our aspiration is to layer on a lot of the power of classic projects, helping teams find more of a balance between autonomy and control. Although we absolutely want to maintain the ease of use factor, which gives teams the appropriate level of autonomy to find their best way of working, move fast, and deliver value to customers. So what do we mean by ease of use? The boards in Jira software are super flexible, so you can adjust them as you go. Just create a new column and drag it to where you need in the workflow. Customization of fields in your issue configuration is easy as well. You can just drag and drop a new field into the configuration or drag out anything that you don't need. To people that have configured Jira software before, this is an incredible simplification of the process that used to be required to set up the fields that you wanted in your project. And Jira can be as simple or as powerful as your teams need, with the ability to turn on and off specific features within each project. It's easy to switch between Scrum and Kanban with a couple of clicks, or add reports, estimation, or other features to your NextGen project. So you might be asking yourself, is NextGen the right project for you? Our recommendation is to try it out and see if it meets your requirements. We're seeing some organizations adopt NextGen across all their teams. Other organizations are adopting it where there are certain teams that need more autonomy, and some organizations are waiting until there's more features there that meet their requirements from Jira. So this is really a decision that you need to make after trying out the project type for yourself. And to give you some guidance, today NextGen is about new innovative features and simpler administration, which is better for teams with autonomy, while classic projects have all the power of traditional Jira and are ideal for teams that need more scale and control. But we're rapidly building up next-gen projects, so if it's not ready for your team yet, keep your eye on it. And in the next couple of slides, I'm going to walk through some of the new things we've shipped recently to next-gen, as well as some of the things we have on the horizon that we're building out. The first exciting thing to call out with next-gen is the new roadmap feature. Now, every next-gen project comes with a roadmap right out of the box. Breaking down barriers between teams begins with a real-time view of what teams are working on and how the team is tracking towards their goals. And since launching roadmaps, we've seen a huge amount of adoption and got a ton of great feedback from you, our customers, about how we can make them even better. And so we are. Today, I'm excited to announce that roadmaps will not only be giving teams an eagle-eye view of every epic, but also everything that happens within those epics. With roadmap hierarchy, epics can unfold so that anyone can see the issues that ladder up to each epic, along with the status of those issues. It's really slick, and it'll be generally available in a few weeks. Over the past few months, we also heard how important it is for your team to understand how they're making progress against their roadmap. So we've added a progress bar to every epic so you can see how complete they are. Now, seeing what percentage of each epic is complete is just a click away. Perhaps more importantly is understanding the relationships between the different tasks on a roadmap. And with our new dependency mapping feature, teams can easily map out the relationships between epics and stay ahead of blockers or dependencies before they become an issue. It's all configured through drag and drop right on the roadmap. And what's even maybe more exciting about this is it uses the features in Jira that you're used to, linking issues together as blockers or dependencies based on your actions on the roadmap. But roadmaps don't exist in a vacuum. They're important artifacts to communicate priorities and progress across your business, whether that's just within your development teams or with teams like leadership teams, marketing, support, and operations that might not always be active in your team's Jira instance. And that's why we're really excited about the Jira roadmap macro for Confluence. This lets you take your roadmap from Jira and embed a live version of it right within Confluence. And in this case, live means that as soon as you update your roadmap in Jira or update any issue on the roadmap, those updates come through in real time to Confluence. This feature is great for sharing your roadmap with anyone in your business, as well as for sharing the roadmaps of multiple teams in one place. And it's important to call out that sharing this important context about your product development teams can play a really important role in breaking down silos across those teams when teams know what things they're working on. It couldn't be easier to share your roadmap either. You can literally take a link from your browser, paste it into Confluence, and then your Jira roadmap will appear. You can scroll down in the page, see your roadmap, and take a look at what's coming up. It's really slick. In addition to roadmaps, there's a few other really exciting things on the horizon I wanted to share about NextGen. The first one, and probably the most exciting, is a reimagined workflow editor. As I mentioned with NextGen, we've rethought many of Jira Software's core features to optimize for team autonomy and ease of use. We're now taking that philosophy and bringing it to the new workflow editor. How is the NextGen workflow editor different? Well, because NextGen projects are independent from each other, rather than working across multiple projects, workflows now live within a specific project and will be tied to specific issue types. So teams can create their own workflow for bugs, stories, or design tasks and adapt them as the need arises. We think designing the workflow editor this way to live within a project will live true to the promise of giving teams that additional autonomy to move fast and continuously adopt their process in order to deliver customer value faster. Now, if you're an administrator on this webinar, you're probably thinking, oh man, all these independent projects are going to create a huge mess. It'll be a nightmare for me. We're here to reassure you that, as we mentioned previously, we recognize that many teams have to balance autonomy and control. So we're rapidly building towards this as well. In 2020, we're going to be enabling you to create best practice projects, template projects that you can use to make copies of so that other teams can use them. When you copy a project, it will copy over the workflows and issue types and other configuration. But once you copy a project, both the old and the new project can remain independent. The ability to copy projects is just our starting point on the journey to help you balance autonomy and control with next-gen projects, so stay tuned for more updates in the coming months. We're also improving JQL search for next-gen projects. JQL will now help you easily query issues from multiple independent projects at the same time. This functionality will also be coming in early 2020. Now I want to call out a few things on the horizon for next-gen end users to give them more autonomy and allow them to further customize their own Jira experience and get more from the product. The first is that we're opening up swim lane configuration on next-gen boards so that every team member can view their work on the board in the way that's most useful for them. Whether that's grouping issues by assignee, by epic, or by subtask. Now each user can have their own view that shows their tasks on the board in the most natural way. Very cool. The next thing that we're looking forward to is a new feature that helps teams clear their board in a single click. This means that you can keep a clear view of what's done and what remains to be done on your board by removing all the issues that have been pushed out with the last release. Now, there's a ton happening across NextGen now, and if I took you through everything, we'd never get to the other sections. So if you're interested in seeing even more of what we've shipped in NextGen, as well as everything that's on the way, I'd highly encourage you to visit our new public roadmap. In closing, I'd like to highlight that building NextGen is a journey, and we could not be more excited that you're on this journey with us. When we began building this new project type, we took the opportunity to rebuild some of the foundational components of Jira software from scratch. This has allowed us to not only make the core Jira Cloud experience faster for all our users, and we'll talk more about this later, but also lay a foundation so that our teams can innovate and ship faster to Jira Software Cloud in the months and years ahead. So stick with us and stay tuned. We're super excited about what's happening in our next-gen projects and hope you are too. With that said, I'm going to hand it back to Jake.
All right, thanks, Matt. Now that we've covered a ton of the great things that are shipping in NextGen, I want to switch gears a bit. Well, there's a ton of momentum and excitement around the NextGen project type. We also know that many users, including most of the people on this webinar, are still heavily invested in classic projects. And we want you to know, so are we. The enhancements we're making in core experiences are all about making Jira software easier to navigate, as well as more intuitive. Improvements and updates in this area span NextGen and classic project types, and include things like Jira's navigation and issue view, things that will benefit every Jira software user, regardless of what project type they may be using. So let's take a look. One of the most significant improvements we've made to the core Jira experience is making it easier for users to find what they need faster through a complete redesign of the Jira issue view. At the heart of every Jira project are issues, and it probably doesn't surprise anyone in this webinar to learn that the issue view is the most viewed screen anywhere in the product, by a long shot. Now, this is what our issue view looked like for many years. But during this time, as teams found more and more use cases for Jira within their organization, a common piece of feedback we heard was that Jira issues began housing so much valuable information, sometimes they got a little cluttered, and that this made it really hard for teams to quickly find the information that really mattered to them. So over the past year, based heavily on this user feedback, our design teams went back to the drawing board and completely reimagined the issue view from the ground up. And their goal was to make the Jira issue more consumable and customizable. And so we're super excited about this new design. It reduces clutter while still doing a great job of adapting to the unique needs of each and every team. It's also incredibly customizable and only highlights the elements that your team chooses to add. Whether that's a short description, a design prototype, maybe a series of test cases, whatever you want. The redesigned issue experience also allows you to remove any fields that your team isn't using, meaning more space for the areas that are communicating value to the team. As a part of this redesign, we've also introduced the ability to create tabs that can house multiple fields. Having to scroll to the bottom of a ticket in search of a specific field, which wastes a lot of time, and it was a major pain point for many users. Tabs eliminate this pain and make your issues more easily navigable. By allowing teams to group fields together, the issue view immediately becomes more consumable at a glance. Now, in addition to a complete redesign of the Jira issue, our team has also been hard at work on some major updates to the navigation experience. Updates that will help your team members move through the product faster than ever. Let me show you. First, we recently added a new section. It's called Your Work, and it helps team members quickly find work items that they previously viewed, incomplete issues they're assigned to, or anything they've starred. We've also added links within the navigation to help users quickly jump to the View All sections across boards, projects, filters, and dashboards. So now what used to take a few clicks only takes one. Here I'll click into Issues, and when you do, you can see it populates the appropriate JQL to bring up all of my issues. Speaking of things that are only one click away, we've also added breadcrumbs to the navigation. So no matter where you are in the product, finding your way back to where you were is always one click away. Breadcrumbs are a small thing that we know are going to make a big difference in making Jira software more navigable. Now, while we've been making some exciting strides in our sidebar navigation, we've also gotten feedback from many of you that you'd like the ability to revert your nav to the original horizontal experience that Jira had a few years ago. So I'm excited to announce that we are introducing a beta program to try and provide feedback on a new and improved version of our horizontal navigation. If you're interested in signing up for this beta, you can find a link to the sign-up page in the Core Experiences section of our new public Jira Software Cloud roadmap. I've just shared a few ways that we're helping team members get where they're going in Jira faster than ever. But navigation is only half of the equation. And that's why, in parallel to these nav improvements, we've had a number of teams laser focused on Jira Software Cloud performance. And the results speak for themselves. Today, Jira Software Cloud users are navigating between boards and projects twice as fast, are enjoying project directory load times that are 900% faster, seeing next-gen boards load 50% faster, and backlog load times that are 80% faster. Now, if you don't believe any of these stats, I'd encourage you to head to the performance section of our public roadmap, where we spotlight the before and after videos of these load times and the enormous strides we've made in the product's performance. As they say, seeing is believing. So check it out. But it's not just the web experience that we're making fast. For all you Apple fans in the audience, you might remember that back in June, on the main stage at Apple's WWDC, we announced that for the first time ever, we were bringing Jira Software Cloud to Mac. Our first native Mac app is beautifully designed, it is lightning fast, and it's one of the first apps built on Apple's brand new operating system, Catalina. We couldn't be more excited about some of the early feedback that we're getting from our beta users. And a fun one to add on top of the Mac launch is that it's coming with one of the most requested features of all time, dark mode. So if you're one of the millions of developers who uses dark mode in your IDE, or you're just a night owl who's trying to preserve that 2020 vision, fear not. Dark mode is here and it's shipping with Jira Cloud for Mac. Our new Jira Mac app will be released with Apple's Catalina OS later this month. But if you can't wait that long, go to Atlassian.com/Jira for Mac today to grab the beta. We know you're going to love it. Now, I mentioned that dark mode is one of the most requested features of all time. Another feature that falls in this category is more granular filters for Jira notifications. And there's a reason I've saved this as the very last update in the Core Experiences section. We think this one is going to be a game changer for a lot of you. The more you and your team use Jira, the more notification Jira generates to each team member. It's just the way it works. With our new filters, each user will now be empowered to customize which types of notifications they receive. More signal, less noise, and ultimately, way happier users. We are super excited about these new notifications, and we know they're going to be a game changer. They'll be here soon, so please stay tuned. All right, so we've covered quite a bit of ground, and we hope you're as excited as we are about everything that's coming in core experiences. Whether you're a next-gen or a classic user, we're focused on making the entire Jira software experience faster and more intuitive for your team. Now, as we move into this next section, we're going to really switch gears into something brand new that we just launched, and we are super excited to share with you. And that's Jira Software Premium. To dive deeper into what we've launched with Premium, as well as where we're taking this new plan, I'm going to hand it back to Matt.
Yeah, thanks, Jake. Jira Software Premium is a brand new plan that we've just introduced for Jira Software. The Premium plan includes features that help teams scale the way they work with Jira Software across their organization. In many ways, Premium is also an extension of the core experiences pillar of our roadmap because all these updates span across all Jira Software project types. Now, before I get into the features and functionality that we've shipped in Premium, I want to spend a moment explaining why we built out Jira Premium. And the why is pretty straightforward. The growth we're seeing across our cloud user base today is staggering. Over 125,000 customers are actively using our cloud products, and this number is growing rapidly. With this explosive growth has come teams wanting to adopt and scale Jira Software Cloud to new heights. There's teams of thousands and tens of thousands of users, often across multiple orgs and business units, that are adopting Jira Software Cloud. And these use cases require new sets of features and functionality to make these teams successful at scale. And that's exactly what we're delivering in Jira Software Premium. So Jira Software Premium is all about scaling the way you work. It means tools to help you administer Jira software at scale. It means visibility across the work happening in your organization across multiple teams and departments. It also means having a strong foundation to build your organization on and grow. Jira software will grow with you. These are important parts of our Premium plan. I'm actually going to start with the last one, which is what we've focused on so far. So Premium plan brings the foundations which your team can grow with confidence. We introduced a guaranteed SLA of 3 nines, so you never have to worry about unplanned downtime. Second, you get unlimited storage. Premium users no longer need to worry about attachment sizes or limits. And finally, we're offering 24/7 dedicated support from a team of experts that can help you day or night solve your problems with Jira Cloud. And these features, what we've delivered so far, are just the beginning of Premium. Let's take a look at what's on the horizon. One of the things we're working on at the moment is helping teams get visibility across all the work happening in their Jira software instance. Earlier, we showed you how team roadmap features help individual teams be more productive and share the context of their work through Confluence. But mission-critical initiatives require collaboration across many different teams and departments. So soon we'll be launching advanced roadmaps in Jira Software Premium. Advanced roadmaps will connect multiple projects with multiple teams. With advanced roadmaps, team members and admins will be able to have a bird's eye view of cross-project status and team health. Advanced roadmaps will help empower teams to plan and ship complex programs of work with confidence. We're really excited about this advancement in Jira Software Premium, and we'll be excited to share more with you in the coming months. The Premium team is also focused on giving administrators advanced tools to become super admins in Jira Software Cloud. To help with this, we're introducing project archiving so that admins can remove projects and their underlying issues from Jira Software when they're no longer active. Project archiving will help admins reduce clutter in their instance and ensure all the projects in their instance are relevant and up to date. We also want to help administrators make it easy for their users to find their work. To do this, we're excited to announce that very soon Premium users will be able to customize their Atlassian site's domain name. This has been one of our most popular feature requests for our cloud platform, and it means your Atlassian cloud site no longer has to use an Atlassian.net URL, but can instead be a subdomain of your company's own domain name. And finally, in the coming months, we'll be introducing IP whitelisting for Atlassian Cloud. This means that admins can set additional safeguards to ensure that only people from your corporate network can access their Jira Software Cloud instance. And it's yet another way that Premium's helping teams scale the way they work in Jira Software Cloud. Now, in the Premium section, we've covered quite a bit about scale and how teams will be able to more easily scale their use of Jira software with our new Premium plan. But Premium isn't the only place we're making huge strides in scale. In the next section, I'm going to turn it back over to Jake to discuss the enormous improvements we're making across our entire Atlassian cloud platform. These are improvements that will not only ensure Jira Cloud users can scale their instances to new heights, but also provide new levels of privacy and security as well. Over to you, Jake.
All right, thanks, Matt. And this brings us to the cloud platform pillar of our roadmap. The cloud platform is a set of core shared components that power the Atlassian cloud. I'm excited to share just a few of the great updates we have here. When we first launched Atlassian Cloud, we recommended it for customers with up to 1,000 users. Then we raised it to 2,000, and then 5,000 users. Today, we're excited to share that we have customers actively testing 10,000 user instances, and that we see this as just another step on our journey to eventually provide users with unlimited scale. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, if you're interested in signing up for the 10,000 user EAP, please reach out to our customer support and they'll see if you're a fit. In great part, what's made this incredible new skill even possible is our move to AWS. In 2015, we rebuilt Jira Software Cloud and Amazon Web Service. And since then, we've doubled our AWS presence into new regions around the world. Last year, we launched in 2 new regions, Sydney and Singapore. And earlier this year, we added another data center in Frankfurt. Today, customers in all these regions are enjoying even faster performance improvements in all of our cloud products. But performance improvements aren't the only benefit of having these additional data centers. Many customers have told us that it's important for them to be able to choose where their data lives. So if you've been dreaming about data residency in the Atlassian cloud, your dreams are about to come true. We'll be rolling out an EAP of our new data residency program and inviting customers in both Europe and North America to begin testing in the coming months. And last but never least, security. Our highest priority is the safety of your teams and your data. Let me share what we're doing across our cloud platform to make sure you have complete peace of mind. First, we've implemented data encryption in all data stores. Every customer now benefits from best-in-class SaaS security with encryption in transit and at rest. A little over a year ago, we also launched Atlassian Access, your command center for Atlassian Cloud. Access works across all Atlassian Cloud products to empower admins with centralized security and user management. With Access, you control exactly who has access to your Atlassian Cloud applications, secure how they access these apps, and receive the visibility you need to ensure accountability and compliance with company policies. To help you be productive at scale, Access now includes automatic user provisioning via Okta, Azure Active Directory, Google, and OneLogin. We've also partnered with the largest identity providers like Okta, Idaptive, Azure, and Google Cloud Identity to support SAML SSO. And in either case, if you're using your own directory or service, we've rolled out new APIs so you can build a custom integration. So as you've just seen, our cloud platform team is making huge improvements across scale, privacy, and security. The Atlassian Cloud is one of the most secure in the industry, and we are super proud of everything we're accomplishing on this front. And like every other section of our roadmap, there's a lot more on the way. Now with that, I'm going to hand things back to Matt to walk you through the last pillar of our roadmap. Matt, over to you.
Thanks, Jake. The last pillar of our roadmap today is integrations. Integrations are such an important pillar of our roadmap because they help teams across your organization communicate with each other. Projects in large organizations are cross-functional sports that require input from multiple teams. And if your teams are anything like ours, those different stakeholders and various teams live in different tools, which can make collaboration and sharing important context across teams time-consuming and difficult. For example, your developers are most likely in VS Code, Bitbucket, or GitHub, but your design team are hard at work in InVision, Adobe, Sketch, or Figma. And our marketing team here at Atlassian rely heavily on Slack, especially when they're planning a feature release or campaign launch. And product managers split their time between Jira and spreadsheets in Google Sheets or Excel. And connecting the dots between these different teams and what they're working on is a key part of opening up communication and enhancing productivity across teams. We think having an integrated tool strategy plays an important part in having an open workplace. And at Atlassian, we're huge believers in open work, and we've actually done some primary research to understand the benefits of openness. A couple of our findings from surveying over 1,100 knowledge workers shows that teams with an open work style are 60% more likely to be high achieving and 80% more likely to report high emotional well-being. This is two major wins for teams, and these improvements that open teamwork unlocks are exactly what is driving our integration strategy for Jira Cloud. Before I move on, if you want to learn more about our research on open work, please visit atlassian.com/open. Because there are so many benefits to connecting tools together, that's why the Jira team has been laser focused on building the out-of-the-box integrations that you need to integrate the tools together that connect the teams in your organization. And we know there are hundreds of them. So today I'm excited to give you a sneak peek into a few of the new integrations we've just released to keep information flowing to and from Jira software. This ultimately drives better collaboration across all teams, faster development times, and greater value for your customers. One of the best ways to speed up software development is to stop bothering this guy, your developer. Now, how many of you are all too familiar with this look when you walk up to your developer's desk? Especially if they've got their headphones on. They're trying to be laser focused on coding, but you need to ask them a question. And they know from experience it's probably a question about how their work is going, or is the Jira ticket that they're working on up to date? But what if we could take away this pain? What if your devs could stay focused on coding and automatically provide your team with the real-time updates they need? Well, I'm incredibly excited to announce that they can now do that with our new VS Code integration, available for both Jira Software and Bitbucket. Now in VS Code, when a developer clicks on the Atlassian icon, they can immediately see all the Jira issues that are assigned to them, as well as the other open issues in the project they're working on. This means devs can see both the Jira issues they're working on right now, as well as what they should pick up next. No more flipping back and forth to get their work done. Now, when it's time to pick up a task, a developer can comment that she's going to pick it up, assign it to herself, mark it as in progress, and create a new Bitbucket branch for the work right from within VS Code. In seconds, and without having to switch tabs or applications, the developer's back where she's happiest and most efficient, working in the code. And when she's done with the work, she can go back to the Atlassian panel again, open a pull request so that her code can be reviewed by one of her peers. Now, what you just saw is incredibly powerful, and not just because it means your developers are going to be happier and more productive. The real power in having these three products seamlessly integrated is that every member of the team can make better decisions faster because they know the information that they're looking at is always accurate and up to date. So whether they spend the majority of their time in VS Code, Jira Software, or Bitbucket, this new integration ensures that the information in all three places is always in sync in real time. This is a huge win for the devs and for the entire team collaborating on the project. It's also a win for this guy, who now never needs to manually update a Jira ticket ever again, and maybe he'll save himself from an early onset of wrinkles. Now, I mentioned this integration as a win for the entire team collaborating on the project. Let's see how that works. What you see here is a next-gen board in Jira Software Cloud. And one of the things we've added to the boards is icons that represent the dev status of each work in progress. For example, when our developer in VS Code opened a new branch for the work she was starting, this branch icon automatically appears on the associated issue in Jira Software. And if you're a product or a project manager, this icon's a great indicator that work has begun on the issue. As the work progresses and our developer opens up a pull request in Bitbucket, the pull request icon appears on the card. And it even turns green when the pull request has been approved. At this point, the entire team knows at a glance that the code related to the issue has been reviewed, it'll be ready to merge back into master, and then the issue will soon be moved to done. And again, what makes this incredibly powerful is that it's all happening without a single manual update from anyone in Jira Software. The integration is doing the heavy lifting for us and keeping the board up to date in real time. But moving on from code, devs spend a lot of time in CI/CD tools as well, checking how their build is going, understanding what's broken, and fixing it so they can move on with the next task. And over the past 6 months, we've released brand new Jira software integrations with the most popular CI/CD tools on the market. In addition to our deep integration with Bitbucket pipelines, your teams can now easily integrate Jira Software Cloud with AWS Code Build, Circle CI, Azure DevOps Pipelines, Octopus Deploy, and by very popular demand, Jenkins. These new integrations give teams deep visibility into their complete delivery pipeline, and they give them continuous visibility from backlog to release, all without leaving Jira software. Let's look at how it works. Similar to the dev status information that I demoed in the last section, now anyone can see in real time the exact status of the team's delivery pipeline right from a Jira issue. Build and deployment information is available at a glance. And should problem arise, deep links allow users to quickly jump from the Jira issue to the exact place the problem has been identified. Now let's talk about the design team. InVision is a leading product design platform, and Studio is InVision's new screen design tool that's used to create the world's best customer experiences. We know how much developers love digging through designers' Dropbox folders looking for the right version of a design file. It drives them nuts, and it can lead to mistakes as well. So that's why we built the new Jira InVision integration, so designers can filter and search for work assigned to them in Jira without ever leaving InVision. Here's our designer picking up a Jira issue he needs to work on, and with a couple of clicks, he can attach his prototype to the Jira issue and leave a comment, and then transition the issue to the next step in the workflow. And all of this is done in seconds without ever leaving his design tool. Now, if we come back to our Jira board, the issue has not only been moved to in review, but the prototype shows up on the new card preview, giving everyone on the team a visual signal that the prototype is ready for the development team. How cool is that? Now imagine if you had this kind of tight workflow the next time someone chats you about a bug. Well, now you can. Let's take a look at Slack. I have to say, our marketing team is particularly excited about our new Slack integration. The marketing team uses Slack for just about everything, including when we're doing final QA before launching a new feature or a big campaign. And if someone does find a bug, even though it will ultimately be logged in Jira, usually the first place it comes up is in Slack. Until recently, team member would then have to go back through the Slack channel for any bugs that were mentioned and copy and paste parts of the conversation into Jira issues. It was really inefficient. But with our new Jira Slack integration, creating an issue in Jira is just one click away, right from the Slack channel itself. Our new integration even pre-populates the description and the summary with contextual details that it picks up from the Slack conversation. Our team member can then make any last-minute edits they need and click Save to create a ticket in Jira. Next, the team member chooses the correct project the issue belongs in, assigns it an issue type, and they're done. In under a minute, a new rich issue was created in the team's Jira backlog without ever leaving our Slack channel. This new integration has saved our team hours, and I know we're not the only ones. But I think I've saved the best new integration for last. It's hard to find anyone who works in the software industry that doesn't use a spreadsheet. And PMs, product managers like me, love spreadsheets, especially when it comes to building pivot tables and custom reports. So today, I'm thrilled to announce that we've released the official Jira add-on for Google Sheets and have gone a step further for product managers, giving them the ability to use JQL right inside Sheets. As most of you in this audience are aware, I'm sure, JQL is incredibly powerful. It allows you to pull any data that you need out of Jira, find out what's going on with your teams. And with our new add-on, users can now import issue data from Jira projects into your spreadsheet using either a saved filter or custom JQL query. Let's look at how this integration works. It appears simply as a new function inside your Google Sheets, the Jira function, and you can plug in any JQL query you want to pull in open issues across your project. And just like magic, you'll see those issue details from Jira software populate in the spreadsheet. From this raw data, it's trivial for me to generate a report or pivot table that I can use to get an overview of my tickets and what's going on with them. In this case, I'm looking at the sum of open story points across all my projects broken down by priority. And if I need a chart to share in a presentation, no problem. With Sheets, I can easily select my pivot table and turn it into a stacked bar chart that shows the distribution of story points by urgency. The Jira add-on for Google Sheets available today on the G Suite Marketplace, and we can't wait to see how each of your teams starts using it. And yeah, actually, I almost forgot. For all you Excel junkies in the audience who've been rolling your eyes for the past few minutes, hang on there. I'm happy to share that this functionality is being built for Excel right now and will be available in Office 365 very soon. And that's a quick look at just some of the new integrations that we're excited about in Jira Software Cloud. We see integrations as such a vital part of our roadmap because we know that all the different stakeholders in the various teams in your organization are using different tools where they're happy and productive. And with each of these new integrations, we bring the whole team together to collaborate and share this information in a seamless and automated way. With each stakeholder working in their own tool, Jira Software continues to track all this work in real time and keep the larger team on the same page. And the end result, as our own research has shown, happier stakeholders and more productive teams. So wow, we've covered a lot of ground today. And as you've seen firsthand, there's a ton of momentum in all 5 of our product strategy pillars. We're incredibly excited about all that we've been able to accomplish over the past year, and even more pumped about the year ahead. On behalf of the entire Jira Software Cloud team, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us on today's webinar. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. Now, to bring us home with a quick recap of everything you've seen today, I'll turn it back over to Jake.
Thanks, Matt. All right, a quick recap of everything we just took you through. In NextGen, we've rebuilt core components of Jira Software to optimize for team autonomy and ease of use. Teams in NextGen are moving faster and in turn delivering more value to their customers. In core experiences, we're shipping major user experience improvements to all project types in Jira Software, creating a faster and more intuitive Jira Software for every user. With Premium, we're building features to help teams scale the way they work. This includes administration at scale, visibility at scale, and the foundations on which you can grow your instance with confidence. On Cloud Platform, we've made some of the most significant enhancements yet to both privacy and security in the Atlassian cloud, and with a ton more just around the corner. And finally, integrations, where we're delivering out-of-the-box integrations with the tools that your teams live in each and every day. Integrations that vastly improve the way your teams communicate and keep everyone on the same page. Now, to reiterate what Matt just said, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us today and for being as invested in our roadmap as we are. If you can't tell, we are super excited about the year ahead, and we hope you are too. And with that, let's open it up for Q&A.